Myanmar goes through military ruling by decades. In the environment of international sanction and economically backward, more than 25% of people live in poverty. Since a mostly civilian government took over more than 2 years ago, it's introduced a wave of political, social, and economic reforms. Encouraged by the move, Western countries have suspended sanctions. Foreign investment has been pouring in ever since. And even though the World Bank has named Myanmar as one of the worst places in the world to do business, citing among other things a lack of transparency and infrastructure, the country is still seen as one with enormous potential.
The first half of 2009 in global commodity prices, coupled with the 2008 hurricane hit the agriculture heartland in 2009, has partially restored production. Food prices stabilized in 2008. CPI annual growth rate of only 1.47%. 2010 annual growth rate of CPI rose to 7.72%. In 2011, by the exchange rate affect the price competitiveness of export of food. The export is not easy. Then cost domestic food supply increases. Food prices, CPI annual rate eases to 5.02%. By the rate hike increases in fuel and housing costs, coupled with the domestic rice supply to reduce the impact. In 2013, Myanmar CPI annual growth rate increased from 1.47% in 2012 to 5.52%. Looking ahead, the rapid expansion of domestic credit, continued monetization of fiscal deficits, inadequate infrastructure, increase of domestic demand, and the strong dollar and other factors make the extent of flow of elevate inflation pressures. Global Insight Project 2014 and the 2015 annual increase of customer prices in Myanmar continued rate will rise to 6.6% and 6.9%.
Myanmar's export industry is underdeveloped is because of its weak export industrial base and trade sanction. Only when natural gas extraction started in 2004, the export revenue increased clearly. Before 2010, current account balance of Myanmar shows surplus because of the increased income of exporting natural gas, and the current account balance is 3.33% of the GDP. With the growing of foreign investment, the demand of Myanmar's food products, capital equipment, and construction material markedly increased. In 2011, although natural gas's revenue is increasing, the import of products also grows by a large margin. Therefore, trading surplus decrease. Current account balance turns into deficit. The current account balance accounts for 2.63% of the GDP, with trading and current account balance deficit getting worse. Current account balance's percentage of GDP in 2012 and 2013 rise to 4.73% and 4.77%. Looking into the future, foreigners invest in oil, natural gas, electricity, mineral, telecommunications, and public construction will rise the growth rate. In the same time, the major products that Myanmar export, jade and natural gas, have a comparatively strong demand for nearby region and will be regarded as an important income source. In the meantime, it's still pretty difficult to gather reliable trading statistic information in Myanmar, and due to how popular under-table trading and smuggling are, the actual trading amount may be far bigger than the official data.
In 2030, the top 3 exporting countries with Myanmar was Thailand, China, and India. By the way, the top 3 importing countries was China, Thailand, and Singapore. In 2030, our country total export value of $180 million to Myanmar, with a total value of $102 million of imports. The trade surplus was $78 million. Export for machinery and machine tools, steel, plastic, and its products. mainly imported wood and wood products, miscellaneous grains, seeds, edible vegetables dominate.
Myanmar possesses large natural gas, minerals, and working-age population, which gives them great potential for exploitation for years. With the new government reforming politics and economy, it attracts foreign investors to come. Foreign investors are mainly composed of nearby countries like China, Thailand, Hong Kong, and Singapore. And China is the major investor of all. International credit rating company Moody's point out that despite investors are getting more interested in Myanmar, there are still a lot of challenges ahead. Less developed system and a mature financial environment are easily to cause negative effects like inflation, unstable exchange rate, and the burst of credit bubbles, hence retard development of state liberty. Problems Myanmar government are facing now are budget deficits, collecting not enough tax, lack of general economy policies, and industry centralized in primary market of agriculture and fish products. Furthermore, although Myanmar's judicial structure continues to use English system, independent trials still can't be executed because of governments interfering, which slow down the country's development. Moreover, their infrastructures are far behind, especially in transportation, electricity supply, communication system, and medical service system. Besides, religion conflicts and natural disaster are also a threat to the development. So obviously, there are still lots of progress needs to be improved.